All right, welcome back, YouTube. So, in this 1 hour, we're going to be grinding here at Quint Hill, aka Trolls. And yeah, it's actually a pretty fun spot. This is going to be my 4th hour at this spot, and I think for the most part, I have the mechanics down. It's really not that bad at all. And I haven't Well, maybe I've died once here, and that's because I just really wasn't paying attention. But overall, I actually really enjoy this place. It's very chill for the most part, and you can see here there's 2 packs. You have a pack here, and then there's a pack over here in the corner, which I guess I can. Oh, oh, hey, I can flip my camera here. So there's a pack right there, and then there's a pack over here. I don't know why the one troll is not showing up, but there's a troll that's right there, and then there's a troll right there. And essentially what you do for the most part is just attack the troll, well attack the mobs around the troll, and then eventually he will become active and not frozen anymore. And then he's attackable, and then you'll burst him down, and then he'll be unattackable again. And then when that happens, all the other mobs will kind of rush at you. And then you just take those mobs to the shaman over here. And once you attack the shaman or kill the shaman, then those mobs in that area will kind of freeze. And then you just kind of DPS all the mobs down, and then go to over here, same thing, just kind of rinse and repeat. But yeah, you'll see once I get into it. But let me go ahead and get all my buffs up here real quick. And also, while we're here, I'm going to be catching up on the Old Moon podcast. I think I'm on episode like 61. Let me see. Get all my juicy buffs up. Repair my gear first. I wonder, I might do a 50% as well. 50% buff increase. Let me see. Put that on. Do this as well. And then my other buff here will be just the corrupt frenzy drought. And we'll get into it. Let me go ahead and start the podcast up. And we'll get right into it. Hopefully it's not too loud.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Old Moon Podcast, episode 61.
Right? Oh my, you did it.
Oh my gosh, I am so good. It has nothing to do with the fact that I literally opened up the podcast on another screen to make sure that I had the right episode choice. Nothing to go there. Now, we have Blonde Bear back from Union break, which he was clocked out for last week, and we
I don't
still
think it's
had
too
to
bad.
pay him for. So Blonde, you want to give us the intro?
Blonde. Oh, he's not there anymore.
He's still on break. Technically, he doesn't come back for another 2 minutes. Jay, why don't you go ahead and give us a go?
Hi, my name is Jake.
No.
I'm an Awakening Wisdom 765 gear score.
765, of course, 765. Flexing his gear.
I'm currently dying from all the shifts I've been taking at work, but when I'm not dying, you can find me over at twitch.tv/Jakin50% before the T.
I thought you were getting too good at your intro, so I decided to just literally throw a curveball in the middle of it. Yeah. But don't act like you don't like to be obliterated. I've seen how you react to pack shot calling. Yeah.
All right, let me go ahead and turn that on.
Jesus loves you. Okay.
Oh, let me go ahead and get the buff. the temp buff.
Hello.
Maybe.
I'm Blondeberry. You catch me at twitch.tv/Blondeberry,
Okay,
where I'm crafting
that's
Becky
on.
Owens for my merchant ring and Bebareka ring.
Gosh, so many things
Nailed
you
it,
have to
man.
turn
First
on
try.
before you can even get here.
Wow.
Kind of annoying.
Nailed it, man. First try. Proud of
I
you.
don't know why Discord keeps doing this thing. It's like, oh,
All right,
I have perfectly fine all day.
now we
and
are
then
Wait, were
good.
you
somehow
actually
during the
I
talking?
podcast,
hope,
it just
at least.
no, it just cuts out. I thought
Oh,
you
I
were
thought
muted,
you were
and I was
just.
like,
I thought he was just doing a bit.
no,
I thought he was doing a bit. I think Jay thought so as well. But we were just
No.
sitting there looking at you like we were.
Poor guy.
Is your Discord on administrator?
Yeah, it's on every. It's just kind of weird. I was like, oh, is he muted? When's he gonna talk? Because I'm watching the stream, and I'm like,
Oh, I
he's
think
just-
I've got it. Is your wife on the phone right now?
What? Yeah.
Because your dial-up internet might not work if she's actually using the phone right now.
Oh
For real.
no.
It's
Dial-up
something's wrong.
internet.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's so weird.
It's a common mistake. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Could you
All
imagine?
right, so
Dial-up
I figured
internet?
we'd start off this
Heck
week.
no.
First of all, we're gonna do a couple changes based on the suggestions in the last two podcast comment section. One thing we're gonna do is we are actually all going to judge the BDO fashion at the end. We're basically gonna rate who we think had the best BDO fashion of everybody that showed up. We're each gonna basically give our vote at the end of time here. So
BDO
so, like
fashion?
the fashion
What?
at least everybody has like a general idea of who thought who had the best BDO fashion. We're on Serenity 2 Elvia, guys. If you want to participate in that, it is on NA. I might try EU a couple times in the near future, but it kind of depends. It's kind of more like NA hours right now. I'm not sure what time it is in EU, but I think it's like the middle of the night. But either way, that's a change right there. And then we're going to go ahead and look at the comment section here because some people felt very, very strongly about some of the stuff that we talked about last week. Although overall, I think that the feedback on having a Node War change, or I mean, like having a special guest on the podcast was huge.
That's pretty
Sadly,
cool.
we didn't have Blonde Bear on the podcast this week, so it's me that has to get flamed because
I think it's cool to have a
Jay
special
just
guest
started crying.
on there.
Sorry, Blue.
Makes
your
things
take
interesting.
On, grabs is completely wrong. Classes that don't have grabs, for the most part, have the excellent movement, iframes, blink around, etc. Most grab classes defend on grabs to be able to do damage, or depend on grabs to be able to do damage. Your viewpoint on grabs is completely dependent on the class you play and not taking everything into effect. In my opinion, missed grabs always punish you. In avoid mode, already happens.
Miss grabs.
Iframes over
Oh,
grabs,
it feels so terrible.
If you got
So
grabbed
terrible.
as a range class, you were too close, didn't position correctly,
Especially
or
Awakening
don't know how to
Warrior.
kite.
Gosh, when you would miss your grab,
And I just have to say that
and like,
this is from the
I
perspective
swear,
of somebody that has had a grab probably their entire
I feel like I
BDO
have
career,
the dial-up
and
internet.
doesn't understand what it's like to play a class that doesn't have the tools to avoid a grab. To simply say that like a Succession Ranger or even an Awakening Witch or an Awakening Wizard is just supposed to avoid the grab with their iframe, they're just supposed to teleport. Like that's obnoxious. Like because you can literally just walk at them and grab them.
I think there'd be a good,
If you
kind of a
walk at
cool
them,
mechanic to
you
like
don't even have to
avoid
throw
a
the
grab or
You're
something.
gonna wait for them to teleport. They teleport, and then you walk at them again, and then you guessed it, you just grab them this time because they don't have any iframes available. So like, yeah, miss grabs absolutely punish you, but like you only get punished after first like making your mistake. Like if a non-grab class literally doesn't make any mistakes at all, they can still get grabbed. They're protected the whole time. They try to get away. They can't do anything. The grabs can still hit them. You have the first opportunity to succeed every single time. Like the non-grab class has to try to iframe away. Now, a lot of classes have ways to avoid this, but a lot of classes don't. Like Succession Corsair, for example, literally just has to sit there in like 6 seconds of super armor for most of her skills. And she used to have a grab passive, but what Perlibus did when they reworked resistances is they completely reworked they reworked resistances, but then they didn't change how the Succession Corsair passive works. So like what's a succession Corsair supposed to do if they're stuck in 6 seconds of super armor and they have essentially 0 resist against a warrior, for example? Warrior is one of the most egregious classes in the game when it comes to grab resistance penetration. Like essentially a warrior just running like standard Elcars has like the full 80% grab resist. Like you just can't, you're just not going to be able to grab resist it. And so like the Corsair just sits there and just takes it. Like, and there's just nothing that they can do.
Yeah, but I never
Yes, the
had.
game does prioritize
I don't know.
iframes, but
The
it's far
desync
easier to land a grab than it is to
for
iframe
me
grab.
at least,
Because a lot
like
of
I
classes
would
iframes,
grab,
like
and on my screen it
Valkyrie's,
would
for
show that I
example.
would grab,
Valkyrie's
but on their
iframe is
screen
extremely difficult to land when you're
it
trying to
didn't
dodge a
grab.
grab because
I don't know. It's kind of
like
stupid.
it's like a split second iframe. You guys ever tried to iframe on a Valkyrie?
I do not like playing Valkyrie. It's very uncomfortable to play.
I don't know. I
It
wonder
is
with the new
uncomfortable to
like
play, but like this
servers
is part of the point
if
is
that
that
would
like
feel better.
iframes, like the
Maybe.
iframe that you're supposed to use to dodge grabs on Valkyrie, especially Succession Valkyrie, is extremely short, and like the grab is just like way easier to land than the iframe is to actually use, and then iframes are limited. The grab you can just kind of hold until you need it, and then some classes like Berserker have 3 grabs. So like, do you have 3 iframes?
Me
Not
grab.
every class does. Like, so, like,
Me
I don't know. I
grab.
just disagreed with this. This
Slam
is
the
an extremely
ground.
controversial. Like, this has
Ma ma
7
ma.
replies and only 16 upvotes. So, like, this is probably more downvoted than it is upvoted. But like, it was upvoted, so I did want to address it there. Um, Overall, I will say that I did receive clarification from the CMGM team, um, um, and Johnny Five, also because he announced it in his Node
Oh.
War hub. The Node War changes were announced, so this is kind of confusing, and I'll go over this in the patch note rundown as well. So, like, people are confused because this was said. This was the official announcement in the official BDO Discord. Okay, and it says this is the May 22nd maintenance announcement. Node War revamp update. So everybody thinks that we're getting the Node War update tonight. We are not getting the Node War update tonight. We are getting it on Sunday. So like the Node Wars
It's a
are
weird time to
not
get it.
being changed tonight. As far as I'm
Granted,
aware,
this
we're
is
just getting
an
central
episode
servers,
behind, so
which I'm super excited to
it's
talk
already been
about.
out.
But like, are
The
you
new
guys
Node War
excited about
system
central
has been
servers? Do you
out,
guys
so
live close to like closest to the Midwest?
It's definitely going to increase my or decrease my.
I mean, I live on the East Coast,
pain,
so
but I'm excited just in general to see what it feels like.
I live on the West Coast, so I think I'm gaining pain, right? So I'm not excited. Just kidding. I'm
Listen,
happy
you'll feel-
for everybody.
I'm happy for everybody. Classic PVE Andy take.
oh my
Classic
gosh.
PVE
very
Andy take.
sitting kind of position to be in.
Yeah. So I stumbled across a forum post from January of this year that I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit, which I thought was interesting. This says, this is something I don't even know if we've talked about this. It says, is gender lock killing the game? And believe it or not, I would have just glazed over it.
I hate gender lock. Wow, I hate gender lock.
The problem is, it actually has.
I hate gender lock.
Upvotes.
Hate it.
Got like 100 and something upvotes. Why can't I use my mouse? What is going on? Hello? Hold on, I can't use my mouse. But all in all, is gender lock killing the game? They said.
Okay. Gender lock. Why? Why? I don't understand why this game has to be gender locked. Like, why? Like, give me the freedom to pick the gender that I want to be. Right? I mean, that's really like for me personally, and you know, I want to be the gender that I am in real life. Right? And so for me, I want to be a male in the game that I play because that's just more immersive for me. And it sucks because I just can't really play other classes. And so I just feel very limited because of that, and it really sucks. I mean, honestly, that would be a really good kind of YouTube video that I would like to do at some point. Gender locks. Like I should do one on that too. I know I have an idea that I've been pondering for a video for that. So I feel like that'd be a good one to do at some point. Oh shoot, I forgot to take it to the shaman. Oh well. Too late now. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Die, bruh. Die. Alright, let's go back to it. Let's see. Are we gonna hit play play? Why is it so delayed? I need a new desktop.
I was thinking about, oh my gosh, why can't I? Hold on. I'm sorry, guys. I can't, it won't let me use my mouse. There we go. It says I'm thinking about starting BDO again, but I didn't want to start on my old characters again. So I thought, hey, let's try a new class and get a feel for the game again. Until I saw most of the interesting classes are locked into being females.
Yep.
Which just killed my entire mood starting the journey in this game. I wonder how many people share this feeling, and also the developers let us choose what we want one day. Maybe it gets enough upvotes. So like it has 100 and something upvotes on like the and then it's a kind of a controversial post as well, because it's got 58 upvotes and 50 downvotes. I'm curious what your guys' take is on the gender locking. Like as veteran players that have played the game for a super long time, do you like gender locking?
Wonder why it has so many
Or
downvotes.
do you not like it and you just kind of deal with it? Blonde, I'll ask for your take first because it's usually the hottest.
I wouldn't necessarily agree that it's killing the game, but I definitely think it stops players who would have been interested in playing more, playing the game. I think it definitely, all that it does is limit more people that would play the game, or more people that would play even more to try out classes that they like the aesthetic for, but maybe not necessarily like, for example, if it weren't for New Verkant, I probably wouldn't be playing Scholar. As much as I like Scholar, I really like the fully armored, like big, bulky characters, and luckily we have Nivercant and Orzeka and stuff like that. But if we didn't have those costumes, I'm not going to buy any of the Pro Shop costumes for any Scholar stuff. Like, I don't want any of it. I don't like any of it. None of it's good. It might be better if we were a bit more balanced on like half male, half female. But the fact that it's like, what is it, like
it's a huge split.
70-30 ratio.
It's so like, stupid.
Male to female. I think it just is like, it could just be really frustrating. For me personally, I really like the big bulky armor costumes. Now, if they made more of those designs for some of the female classes, then maybe I wouldn't be as opposed, because you'd have the alternative. If they didn't make it so they had heels on every single girl class character outfit, then maybe I'd be like, oh, okay, this is all right. But that's like the standard, and it's to me, it's really frustrating, and I think it definitely does cut out, a portion of people that would be interested in going hard or playing a little more.
Okay, interesting. Everyone's already saying I'll see you in the comments section. Welcome back, Juan. We love you, buddy. Jay, what's your take on it? How do you feel about gender locking?
Hi. I don't mind it personally. I do agree that, aesthetic is a pretty big, a lot bigger than people think it is when it comes to choosing classes, like how you want your character to look. And that's one of our choices, right? Being male or female, having this warrior aesthetic, having a mage aesthetic, having an assassin aesthetic, and all that stuff. I think that's really, really important. And they do take away that aspect when it comes to, choosing, oh, do I want to pick a female class or a male class? And so I'm kind of on the fence again. Like, it's like, oh, I don't mind it, but at the same time, I kind of mind it. So
yeah, it's like, why?
I'm just gonna stick on the
like
fence, to be honest. So
and like
yeah, so like my opinion on this, yeah, the guy made a forum post. It's really controversial. I'll be honest. I think that most BDO players don't care at all that the classes are gender locked. They just accept that
but why? Why accept it?
This is kind of just how they
you shouldn't accept it.
I think that honestly, when BDO came out, I'm gonna handle this.
I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of people
BDO came out,
don't like the gender lock.
This was not as much of an issue, but today, I'll be honest, the fact that the game is gender locked actually keeps Black Desert out of a pretty reasonable amount of controversy when it comes to talking about gender, which is kind of a hot topic in today's society. So like they don't leave any room for interpretation in their game for like what gender that you basically are on your class. And I think that overall, from a
That's
PR standpoint, like it was kind of a W for them. But like from a player
that's a
standpoint, I don't
thing.
think that
Like other
players
games
care.
have that.
Like if you want to play a female class, you just pick a female class, and then if you want to play a male class, you just pick a male class.
Like other games,
we
it's
all wish Scholar was
controversial.
male? Yeah, absolutely. We all wish Scholar was male, but we're all still playing Scholar anyway.
Nope, I'm not.
You know what I mean?
Because it's a female.
Like it is what it is. And if
I don't know, man. I think
chat's not wrong. And if you do want to play a female class on a male character, you can just play Archer. Easy W.
I think there's a
Easy
lot more
W,
people that
right?
don't like the gender
Like,
lock than what you think.
And in Korea, they are not. I will say that overall, like I don't think that this is ever going to get changed, regardless of how many
No,
upvotes
it
a
won't get
forum post
changed.
has on a subject like this.
I'd be
because
very
Korea is
surprised.
extremely strict about like the gender like laws and stuff and like what they do. It's very different than America. We're definitely a little bit more open to stuff like this, but like in Korea, they're very strict about stuff like this, and I don't think it's ever going to change. It being a Korean game, but I also don't think that it deters people from playing the game. Like overall, like I don't know, like I don't really ever hear people. Usually, the reason that people are deterred from BDO are one of three reasons. One, the enhancing system is blah 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 blah. I don't want to fail this many times, which is why we got the ancient anvil system. Two, the game is pay to win, and I don't want to play a game that's pay to win, so they just don't play any MMOs.
Oh my gosh, this game is
every MMO nowadays is pay to win.
Yeah, this game is. I mean,
or three, it's too grindy for them, and they don't have the time.
It's a whole nother
Those
topic.
are usually the top three reasons that I hear for
pay
why
to win.
people don't even want to try BDO.
You have to be like a freaking billionaire
which, I mean, they're
to pay to win this game.
one way or another.
It's such a gamble too.
Just kind of an interesting post. There's another one that says PA were upset. This one actually has over 500 post interactions, got 429 upvotes and 122 downvotes. It says, sorry, no introductions today, no greetings, no nothing. I'm just getting straight to it. Well, this is an introduction, but that's fine, man. It says, Dear PA, we're upset, and we've been upset for a long time. The Crystal Restore coupon was released today. This is released in April 9th, so a little under a month ago, like 20 days or so ago. The Crystal Restore coupon was released today when was the final straw of my hopes and our hopes that this game can be great. It's clear the company prioritizes profit over players. You know, I made a whole unreleased topic about how gluttonous you are, yet I decided to put that on hold and not post it, to instead write this. We're disappointed, we're hurt, some of us are lost, some of us are numb to the feeling, while others just think that this is okay and don't care. Personally, I don't even know how to feel. I just hate how the single-handedly most controversial topic in your game today, your solution was to make us pay for it. I'm convinced that this was done out of pure laziness and the urgent need to make a quick buck. Out of all our solutions that has been proposed by your dedicated community, you chose the one that no one asked for. It's such a slap in the face. It's clear your tactics are simply predatory and prey on
it's kind of stupid to have to like buy a coupon.
I wonder why you guys cater to the new player experience so much, and now it finally makes sense to me. It's because people who are unaware are most likely to make mistakes or make purchases for things that they otherwise don't really need. You make
it's a long post. Good gosh, how long that thing is.
So that players are more inclined to spend money in order to advance at a quicker pace.
Jeez.
You divide the player base because you know it's easier to manipulate your players alone as opposed to when they are in a group. Why do you think that? Why do you think there's so many solo grind spots? Why does open world PvP in the karma system encourage players to actively fight against each other instead of collaborating? You want to keep us divided. You want to keep us from the truth, and most importantly, you want to keep us from spending you want to keep us spending money on your game. A person can't spend money on the game they don't play. You guys recognize this, and this is why you want to employ every predatory tactic to keep your players playing. It reminds me of the mid-2000s documentary Supersize Me. Holy shit.
Wow, that's old.
A throwback. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Oh,
poor,
ain't no way he just said Supersize
poor guy.
Me. Okay. Those
that guy passed away.
Who have seen it, you will know what I'm talking about here. Those of you who haven't, I recommend searching it up. As my word
It's a
won't
pretty
do
good
it
series
justice,
or show.
another tactic to milk as much money out of the population as you can. I'll be honest with you. I think that most players that play BDO have seen Supersize Me because we're all old. A player cannot spend money in a game they don't play, so players feel their goals can be reasonably obtained at a minimal
I can't believe that guy
cost.
passed
I'll
away
say
with
it again,
cancer.
a player cannot spend money
That's
on
so
a game that they
crazy.
don't play. Furthermore, nobody enjoys grinding in this game, but like for real. Wait. He says, but like BFFR, I think that's mean, but for real, it's most enjoyable for a maximum of 30 minutes. Most of us just made a habit of it. To be honest, no one really likes going to work, but if you're gonna get paid, but if you want to get paid, you clock in, right? They're pretty graphics, intricate combat, vast open world. That's the allure. You make the game look all shiny with nice bells and whistles, so players are inclined to shut their mouths and open their wallets. And then once he or she has ventured deep enough into the world, they realize that what a waste of time it has been, or feel they already are too far in to stop now, so they keep going. It's the never-ending cycle, and it's disgusting. We want change, and we need it now. Stop exploiting us. Stop letting us down. And for the love of God, stop making us feel like we chose the wrong game. Make us feel heard. Provide reassurance. Hold Q&As with the community across all of your regions in BDO regularly. That's all we're asking. Or are we asking too much? Sincerely, a very hurt community. Thank you for your time. This has a lot of updates. Obviously, it's got a decent amount of downdates as well. But, man, this is
What a post.
This is a post, man. This guy just went off. I'm curious, what do you guys think about kind of what we just said?
Man wrote an essay.
A little bit. Blonde, I'll start with you.
In the first half, I'm not gonna lie, until they said doesn't like grinding and don't like working, doesn't like going to their job. I mean,
I love going to my job.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I love going to my job.
Yeah,
I like teaching too. I like going to that.
That's more of a personal issue. If you don't like your job, find a better job. And if you like, I don't know. I'm not saying that grinding is the most fun thing and everybody does enjoy it, but it's not true that nobody likes grinding. And
I love grinding.
Minutes. I mean, if it weren't for the combat in this game, I feel like that's the only delusion.
Yeah, yeah.
Spot on. I think it is really, really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I said the same as what the post said basically the other day on my stream.
Of course, the combat.
Like everything I feel like has been going good. There's some.
I think that's the reason why I do like the grind, is because of the combat.
There's some things that are a little too far, but they've kind of outscaled things in the game that make it so that you don't really need a lot of these things. But man, this crystal change, that one is one that's like
that's crazy. Like so stupid.
Or 200 pearls or something
cheap.
I don't think it would be bad. But isn't it?
How much is it?
$20 for like a slot or something?
It's like $25.
$25. That's crazy.
I don't know what the thought process was there. I feel like it's like one of the grossest, most like hand in the cookie jar things they've ever done. I really don't get it. So I mean, I kind of in general agree with again everything except for that last. Part.
Yeah, definitely this like crystal restoration expansion is a good example of
so stupid.
The game more than the gender lock thing that we were talking about earlier. And yeah, I agree with a lot of the posts except where they said that people don't enjoy grinding the game. That's why I grind the game.
I knew you guys were locked in. You guys were kind of zoning out over the course of the post. I'll be honest. In the second stanza, he did a great job of grabbing your attention again because Jay was kind of going to La La Land. And all of a sudden, I hate grinding. No one likes grinding, and Jay's just like, lock in, boys. Like that's crazy, bro.
I was gonna say, I think most of us can agree that the combat in BDO is like second to none. There's like this is like the only MMO that I've ever played that has a combat system in this fun and so satisfying. And for him to say that people don't enjoy grinding, I feel like that targets like so many people who play this game for that specific reason, which is grinding, which is the combat in the game. And so
I mean, PvP is essentially grinding. You're just grinding other players.
You're grinding people.
I mean, if the combat wasn't good, then no. The grinding would be very good.
It's what makes the game so.
What happens when you don't pay attention?
That's why people want to be on it.
Yeah, so one thing I wanted to touch on kind of resonated with me because of the Ubisoft controversy recently. I don't know if you guys know what's been going on with Ubisoft, but they just released their next Assassin's Creed like trailer for their game and released the monetization for their game.
Uh-oh.
And like there are like 5 different pre-order, 4 different pre-order packs that you can get. And the thing is that like there's like the standard game, and then there's like you get, in order to get the whole game, essentially, you have to pay 2 times as much as the standard game. You don't get the whole game for $70
Wait,
anymore.
what?
You have to pay $130. And
What?
people are extremely upset about this. Furthermore,
What?
one of these sentences in here really resonated
No
with
way,
me.
dude.
Says,
No shot.
because,
I ain't paying it.
it says,
You gotta
it's
protest
funny
that crap.
because I used to wonder why they cater to the
Screw
new player
it.
experience so much, and now it finally makes sense to me. It's because the players who are unaware are most likely to make mistakes on purchases for things that they otherwise don't really need. And this resonated with me for 2 reasons. Number one, you have the recent Ubisoft controversy where Ubisoft is offering you 5 skill points if you buy like the Ultimate Deluxe Edition of the game. And like anyone that's actually played Assassin's Creed knows that 5 skill points is basically nothing, right? Like you could get that like super fast, like nobody cares. 5 skill points. But anyone that's never played Assassin's Creed before and doesn't know anything about the game is prompted to think that, hey, that's actually an advantage, right? Like this is a good thing. Like I should spend the extra $30 or $40 to get those 5 skill points because it'll give me an advantage, right? So like
that's
it is
it.
predatory, at least in this case for Ubisoft, to take advantage of players who don't really know very much about the game and what they're getting, especially for a game that they haven't actually shown any actual gameplay for. But like Ubisoft did it, and now we transition. I'll use an example in Black Desert that most of my community knows. We're already talking about in the chat, and that's Hercules. I'm sure that most people at this point have seen at least one of my videos that I've made about Hercules. Hercules is the guy that basically spawned into Black Desert and spent what, like $1,600 or something, like, and before he was even like level 8. Like he literally just dropped. He had like 20,000 cron stones before he even reached Velia. And like he bought like the T10 horse skin. He had no idea what it was or how to use it.
Oh
he bought
gosh.
the dragon skin. He had no idea what it was or how to use it. And now Hercules is kind of an egregious example because like that dude just wants to spend money, right? Like, but like it also represents like there are like threads of truth where you can look at Hercules and be like, okay, yeah, this is way too predatory. One of them is the T10 horse skin. Why are you allowing a new player who can't
to be able to
possibly
buy
get
that,
the T10 horse skin yet,
even though you can't
to
put it on there?
purchase the T10 skin?
It should be
Like,
restricted.
I understand letting them view it in the Pearl Shop.
Yeah, but it
but
should be
allowing them to
restricted.
purchase it when they've
No.
just spawned into the game and they don't even have a T10 on their account is predatory.
Yeah.
Flat out. That is,
I agree
that
with
is
that
obnoxious.
for sure. Because it looks so
but,
cool,
like,
and it's like, oh, I could put that on my
and
horse. And
Pluribus,
it's like,
generally
nope.
speaking, doesn't do too much predatory stuff anymore. When Cacao Games was kind of managing the game, it was way worse. But nowadays, I think that Pluribus has taken like reasonable steps in the corrective direction, giving away more pets, giving away inventory slots, and all kinds of stuff that we've never seen before. However, at the core of this post, he's talking about the crystal system. And like the crystal preset thing, and I have to agree with him. I think that flat out, it was just the biggest money grab. It was extremely uncharacteristic. It kind of caught me by surprise. I don't know about you guys, but like, I don't ever really see Pluribus do things like that. So like, something tells me that like I don't know if their stock was down and they're like, screw it, we got to do this because we got the crystal expansion coupons, and then we immediately got suddenly outfits were going up in price without increasing cron stones. Right? Like, so like we like outfits went to 2.1 bill as well. So like the pay to win margin just like increased pretty dramatically for selling outfits on the marketplace. So like, I don't know if their stock was down or what, but he's absolutely right. It was a super predatory move. Players are not going to understand like exactly what the crystal presets are. An experienced player is going to understand, but a new player might not understand what's happening and accidentally buy it. And again, that's predatory, just like the T10 horse skin is predatory. Now, there's a certain amount of this that goes into, okay, well, you just have to be a smart consumer. You just have to be smart with your money. And while that's
yeah,
true,
to an extent,
you can't expect like a normal average consumer to outsmart a multi-billion-dollar company. Like they're smarter than you. Like they're going to try to scam you out of your money. They're going to try to take advantage of you. I'm not saying that Pluribus does this necessarily all the time, but it's not as easy as just be a smarter person. Like it's just that argument kind of just doesn't work very well. And when it comes to the crystal preset expansion coupons, you're talking about probably the most controversial topic in the game's recent history. Even when we were all upset with Pearl Abyss months back because they weren't listening to the player base, one of the topics at the forefront was crystal loss, right? We all wanted a crystal loss like change system. We wanted crystal loss to basically be removed from the game,
Which I
or
don't agree
changed
with
or
that.
reworked in some capacity. I think that
Rework
the
maybe,
developers
but
basically were like, okay,
you
yeah,
you
we don't want to
can't.
ruin the marketplace, but
Yeah, the
here's the thing: there's
marketplace.
like a
Yeah,
bunch of different ways they could not ruin the marketplace by removing crystal loss from the game. Just include crystals in like some alchemy recipes that everybody uses, or in like the T10 recipe, or I
sure.
don't know. Like you
Yeah,
could,
I mean,
there's all kinds of stuff that you could
I guess
require
I guess
crystals
if they,
for.
I guess they could adjust
Alternatively,
it that way.
you could
Sure.
require them to have it for like upgrading their gear.
Crap!
You know
I
what I
did the
mean?
shaman before I.
Yep.
Ah.
But there's a number of
Oh
things
well.
like this whole
Leave there's another
market
shaman over
excuse
here.
where, oh, it'll just ruin the market, so we don't want to change it because the marketplace will get ruined. That's
Oh, it's not
obnoxious,
shaman.
dude. They could fix that in like literally in one brainstorm session. I could come up with like 5 or 6 different things that they could basically add crystals to. If I knew like what they were going to come out with content wise, I could basically immediately be like, hey, yeah, just add like crystals to like the to the crafting for that particular item, or for dead god crafting, or whatever. You know what I mean? It is what it is. There's so many different ways you could solve this, but like instead of solving the problem that their player base had, they monetized the solution. So like of course people are going to get upset. You literally created a problem and then monetized the solution. Again, I felt like I was dealing with Cacao Games again. Like Cacao was just like, no, we love silver having weight.
Oh,
This
you
is
definitely
great. For us,
tell
they
the
should have
difference if
more
you
weight.
don't
You know what
stun
I
them.
mean? Like it was crazy. I mean, back then, you basically had to get some weight and inventory to play the game at all. The argument that like weight and inventory were pay to convenience, which by the way is still pay to win. I don't really care what people say about that, but pay to convenience is absolutely pay to win. But like people were like, oh no, you can totally play free to play. You don't need weight, you don't need inventory. Oh god, you totally needed it back then. Nowadays, you
Oh
can make
yeah,
a
for
case
sure.
that you don't really need that stuff, or that the game gives enough of it to you. But like back
Yeah,
then, it was
it's not as
ridiculous.
severe, but
I
yeah,
don't know,
back then
like
it was
Quad, you
pain in the
said that
rear
it
end.
kind of caught you off guard too, Jay. Like Jay, you haven't spoken on
Um,
this too much. Like
I
you're a PvEer, man. Like
I
you need to be more upset about this. Why do you not have
I
your
am upset.
pitchfork
Yeah.
out? Get your pitchfork out.
No, definitely.
Yeah, get off the
Um,
fence, Jay.
God damn it, Jay.
Let's lay down some opinions.
well, I would like to believe that whenever companies or developers do a predatory monetization choice, again, preface, I would like to believe that it's not the developer's choice. It was more like a shareholder choice of them like pressuring. Because I've seen in the video game industry of like the situation with like, let's say like Helldivers. I'm pretty sure like the developers definitely did not want people to do the PSN thing with like Sony and stuff, but I don't know, they were kind of pressured in that way, and they were trying to push back on it and stuff like that. And I feel like this is like a maybe again, I would like to believe it might have been a similar case where they had to just make a choice on how to make more monetization in the least damaging way possible, and maybe this was like the poison that they took in that way. But yeah, definitely, I don't think anybody likes the crystal restoration method that they proposed to us, that they did implement to us. There are so many other ways they could have implemented it in a way that was not predatory, but this is the way they chose. And I don't know, it's just I at the same time, I mean, maybe this is a hot take, but for me, whenever I'm looking at things that I need to work on to let's say the issue is when you die, you lose a crystal, right? And so I don't want to like simply say get good, but like at the same time, that kind of motivates me to get good so that I don't have to deal with this issue, is to just not die. I don't know if that's a hot take, but I'm just going to go with it. Let's talk about me, Jay
Oh,
Kun.
765 gear score.
oh God,
Don't
Jay.
die, I guess.
What have you done?
Make sure you hit V.
Oh
Hit V.
God,
It's my
you
turn.
know,
It's my turn. Hit me with the comments.
I
Hit me
am
with the
so
comments.
excited for the comments on the podcast this week. Yeah, so the comment to just not die. Why don't you just go to Dekia Ash with full pen Fallen God and tell me how much you're not dying? Okay, like you're gonna die. And the funny thing is,
your gear's not gonna help you.
Yeah, there's a clip of
I always tell that to my chat when it comes to these end game spots, what's gonna save you is you, not your gear. After a certain point, like your gear is gonna help you make more mistakes, but you should be minimizing those mistakes as much as possible. And that's what I always advise to my chat.
Well, yeah, but you shouldn't monetize it when people do make a mistake, because people are inevitably going to make mistakes. People are inevitably going to make mistakes in video games, 100%. And they shouldn't have to pay to correct those mistakes.
100%, 100%. But this is the reality right now. This is the only, we're not given a choice, right? So I'm like thinking, hey, let's focus on things we can do rather than focus on things we can't do. What we can do is not die, right? What we can't do is change their minds.
Oh, yes, we can.
Right now, Ryan.
Oh, yes. Yes, you can. See, like, the funny thing is, what people don't understand, and people are saying, well, yes, the devs still have a say.
To an extent.
Is like, oh, yeah, the shareholders get a say, but then the devs have the final say. Well, not really. If your stock is in the garbage, and I'm going to pull up the Pearl Abyss stock on. Pearl Abyss stock. Let's take a look at this. If your stock is in the garbage, let's look at 1 year. Okay. About on April 17th, this is when the crystal change kind of came out, is right here. Is the stock is literally sitting at rock bottom. Ultimately, it's all about the money. Like, the developers have a say to a point, but at the end of the day, if everyone pulls funding for your game, you don't get to like fund the game anymore, right? So like, I feel like they felt they needed to make a change in order to actually make a little bit more money. Is probably the reason here. And like, yes, the developers absolutely have a say, but the stockholders are really the ones that kind of end up having the final say, especially when the stock is doing poorly. The developers get more of a say if the stock is going well, right? If the stock is soaring and doing super well, and they say, we want to make more money, the developers can absolutely just be like, no, that's not, screw that. If you don't, if you don't want to be part of the ship, just jump off anyway. We'll just grab somebody else because we're already up. But when you're down, you lose a lot of your leverage. So like, yeah, they were down pretty bad. If I look at the 5-year here, this is like the lowest that they had ever been in 5 years. And then they made some changes to the game. And I'll tell you right now, part of the reason that like they tanked so hard, you'll notice that like all of that controversy that we had in like with regards to remember like we did like the United Nations podcast started, all the regions were super upset. Korea was boycotting what was that game mode that they took away recently? War of the Roses. But Korea's boycotting War of the Roses. They're super upset. One-sided deck changes come through. Notice all of that was happening start of November.
Man, I'm not going to get one event.
Look at the stock drop off. And like, this is what happens when your players get upset. Okay? Your players get super upset and your stock continues to drop. If your players continue to get upset, people stop spending money on your game, and the stock continues to go down. Precision hammers and stuff come out. You see a slight increase, but again, just an overall decline because players were just generally unhappy with the game. Like, now they finally said, okay, we have to monetize differently if we're going to make more money. So now they've started making a little bit more money. But I'll be honest with you, you speak with your wallet. You can absolutely change their mind. They were not listening to us at all back in November. Okay. Now I do feel like they definitely listen to at least some of our content, to at least some of our forum posts that we make. They basically are forced to. You know why? Because at the shareholders meeting very recently, if you watched the Anders video, I don't know if you guys saw it, or at least my react to the Anders video, Anders lays out like that Pearl Abyss kind of like the Pearl Abyss like shareholders, like the distribution of like wealth. And normally NAEU typically makes up about 61-62% of Pearl Abyss's overall wealth, but now we're only about 52%. So the West definitely spent way less money. That doesn't seem like a significant amount of money.
That's a lot.
Tremendously significant amount of money.
Yeah, that's a lot. 10%.
That would be the reason that they started listening, because they started losing money hand over fist because players were unhappy and everyone stopped spending money on the game. So if you're not happy with the game, it's very simple. Stop spending money.
Yep.
Right? Like, if you don't like the crystal,
don't pay it.
Change.
Refuse.
Don't buy the crystal stuff.
Exactly.
And I said it when it came out. I'll say it again. Don't buy it. Like, if you buy it, it's going to reinforce that they did the right thing, even if people complain. Right? Ubisoft is exactly the same way. right? This whole Ubisoft controversy with their Assassin's Creed game, yeah, just don't buy it. If you keep buying it,
I ain't
it's
gonna
gonna
buy
keep
it.
getting worse. It's
Dude,
gonna keep the downhill
$130 for the whole
slide coming.
game?
They're gonna keep
Nah,
trying to
I'm
push it
good.
further and further until they realize where
I'm
the
good.
line for their consumer is. Like you can't keep doing this.
That's
So
ridiculous.
like, guys, if you don't like something, just don't buy it. Right?
Yep.
Stop buying outfits and selling it for money if you don't like the Pearl Shop change. Right? But like a lot of the whales probably like that. That's probably why the graph went up. But I almost guarantee, like the crystal. Did you guys buy the crystal reset coupon? You guys are PvEers. It most affects you guys.
I did not.
Right?
I just don't die.
I just
So I
don't die.
buy it.
Me don't
I
die.
still die, and I don't buy it.
Yeah, hopefully nobody like misunderstood me like that I was advocating for buying this. So
He literally
just
said
to
that word for word.
clarify, I was
No,
no,
I'm
I
just
did
kidding.
not.
No, he didn't. He just
I
said,
am
"Don't
100%
die,
advocating
forehead."
for not this kind of predatory monetization choice, and that again, like when I said focus on things you can do and don't focus on things you can't do, because what I can do right now to just not avoid having to buy this is just not die, right? Hopefully that I'm coming, it's coming from a good place, not from a bad place, to just make sure that everybody is understanding of what I actually
Alright,
mean,
they need to
which is,
remove those
hey,
trees.
I don't care about this item. I'm not going to buy it. What can I do to make sure that I don't have to buy it or at all buy it? Is just, do the thing I can do, which is, again, the only thing you can do is just not die to lose crystals, right? So, and again, it's harder. I don't know how to. I'm really bad at articulating myself, so I'm not too sure how else to say is to get good in order to do that. But yeah, just improve yourself as a gamer, and you just won't need to use these items that they were trying to put in the pro shop. So
yeah, like if you don't like an outfit, don't buy it. You don't like the crystal preset stuff, don't buy it. Right? Like it's really simple.
Beat them at their own game, Jay. Now go grind another 10 hours on
Bro,
the same game.
Yeah, so here's the problem with the don't die solution. I forgot to address this before. The other day, or like yesterday, or no, the day before that, on stream, I was grinding. And I just immediately died.
I usually die because of desync.
100 to 0. And I thought, that was weird. I don't feel like I misplayed it all. Sure enough, I clip it, and it shows me frontal guarding the mechanic like I'm supposed to. My frontal guard basically evaporates, and I immediately iframe. I use the magical evasion, which is supposed to be an iframe in PvE. Right? You can see me going into the animation. The skills all go on cooldown. The character moves, and I died in iframe in magical evasion. Like it just straight up one shot me through magical evasion. And like, so sometimes I'm telling you, it's not your fault.
Nope.
That's the problem. And like, if you happen to live where like the servers or your ping is
there we go. Now we got
kind
an
of
event.
bad, that's gonna happen more frequently.
Yep.
And yeah, like having 3 like crystal restore coupons is like reasonable. You know what I mean? But like making people pay for extra mistakes that are honestly caused by the game in a decent amount of cases is predatory and shitty. Like this whole don't die thing. Yeah, well, what if the server just dies? Or you are in a PvE iframe and they coded it wrong. Like in, I think Yazrid, I honestly don't even think that it lagged. I really do think that they just coded it wrong because when magical, it's happened twice now, where magical evasion is off cooldown, and I use the skill. You'll notice that it's got a super armor icon on the skill, and Jay will know what I'm talking about because he's played Awakening Wish. It's got the super armor icon on the skill. I think what they did at Yazrid is they made some of the mechanics hit you like a normal player. It's like a code issue. Like they literally just like the mechanics, instead of hitting you for PvE, it hits you for PvP. And magical evasion is only a super armor in PvP. And I would get one shot in PvP if that much damage hit me and I was in magical evasion. And it's happened twice now where I have literally been just like in the super armor for magical evasion and I'm dead. And when it's supposed to be a PvE iframe. So I think they just coded it just flat out wrong. And you shouldn't be punished for a bug like that. Right? Like bugs happen like that too. How many countless people have died for the basically the same thing, and they don't even necessarily have the video evidence to prove it. I have the video evidence to prove it. Like it's obnoxious, and it's not fair. So again, just saying don't die is just not a good way to do it. And I really sincerely look forward to the comments on
as I mentioned before, I'm really bad at articulating, so maybe don't die is not the best way to put it. But let's say you do die.
Don't die.
Just don't
Hear it.
die.
Let's say you do
Yeah.
die to that bug. So what can you
Oh
do to
my
avoid
gosh.
having that bug in the first place? Don't
It's
use
alright.
magical
I'm about to
evasion.
die
Use
here in a
teleport
second.
or something instead. That's what I mean. Is like focus on you can't do anything about a bug, right? You can't do anything about your magical evasion being a bug.
Oh
Right?
gosh.
And that's unfair and that sucks, right? But what can you do about it? Nothing, right? Other than
Get good.
say to them,
Get
tell
good.
them to fix it. And then what can you do while you're waiting? Well, use something else.
Oh
Use
my
teleport. That's what I mean by
gosh.
look at the things you can do to just not die. Sorry, I don't know
I'm
how
like,
else to
I'm like,
articulate it, you know?
I'm like, Jay, I can't wait for the comments. And he said, hold on, get my shovel. And he
I'm
just kept
sorry.
digging.
I
He was
just
in a
really
hole and
strongly
he just
believe that.
kept.
Hopefully again.
Listen,
I hopefully
use some
nobody's
baby crystals if you're
misunderstanding.
scared. Use some baby
I know
crystals.
that's
what I
also
got
there's
'em for.
alternative
Jay,
choices. I know. It's just
Say
Use a
use
calc
your
elixir next
teleport.
I
time.
100%
Where's your
agree.
Perilla
Don't
Star?
okay. I don't know
Oh, this is gonna be juice.
how else to say, but like you got to look at the options you can do about it, right? There's no point in other than you like telling them to fix it, right? What can you do while you're waiting is do the things you can do about it, which is use an alternative method. Hey, if magical evasion was not working for you, then use teleport. That's definitely an iframe and stuff like that, right?
Well,
Whatever
then,
class you have, it's like,
but teleport's only on cooldown every 7 seconds. So like,
wait, why are you using it when you don't need to use it? That's also another.
Well, no, because there's like multiple one-shot mechanics in quick succession before teleport's going to come off cooldown again. Like
there's not
that's
multiple.
the problem.
I've grinded Izerhead Highlands. You don't.
Yeah, does the double stomp
that much?
The double stomp? Yeah, you gotta like, bro, you ain't getting through it. If you just try to teleport the double stomp, you're gonna die to the second tick. It'll just kill you. Also, the other mechanic is to frontal guard.
One of the ticks, I promise
you. Can. Yeah, I know. I tried.
Geared.
My frontal guard literally just immediately vaporized, and I was like, well, that was weird. So then this is all comes together. My frontal guard, I used a frontal guard on a mechanic that is supposed to be frontal guard. Like you're supposed to be able to frontal guard it. And so like I used equilibrium break, and then my frontal guard just vaporized 100 to 0. It's not supposed to do that. But I was like, okay, magical evasion, going into the iframe, which is exactly what I'm supposed to do when the oh shit moment happens like that, and I just died anyway. Right? So like we have 2 instances where like I did try other stuff, and like you could say this for any class. Like, no, the solution is okay, well just don't grind that spot. You just can't grind that spot. So I just immediately left. I'll be honest with you, I died and I just said, nope, I'm done. This is the second time it's happened. And like it happened 2 times in a row, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm done. Like, because I clipped it the second time. Like, chat clipped it for me, and we examined it. They were like, holy shit, caught in 4K. What the hell is this? Like, it was obnoxious. So, like, I just had to leave. I just left the grind zone. Ironically enough, magical evasion is 100% a PvE iframe at every other spot of the game. I have never run into this problem before. Not in the dungeon, not in any other grind zone. Only at Yazrid, which means it's very clearly a bug, and I should not be punished. See, I lost an ultimate Macalod. I shouldn't be punished because their game is bugged, right? Like and I shouldn't have to. I certainly shouldn't have to pay my money.
Again,
I understand
hopefully, that. I need to clarify that I never said that you should be punished at all.
Get good, and if I suck, it's my fault.
No, I'm saying you got to look for alternatives.
Oh my gosh. Get good.
And if you
don't
have
die.
To leave, that might be the other alternative. And again, I don't want to say that. I never said that you should be punished at all. Hopefully,
no.
Everybody understands that.
No, everybody gets that. But like, the big thing here, Jay, is you're being pacifist about it, and I think that that's a bad take. So your solution is, well, they're just not going to change it, or like you just need to try to work around it.
Shouldn't change it. I'm saying you got to like do what you can do about it now.
But no, you've got to complain about it. You've got to complain about it
for sure. I never said you shouldn't complain it. I said tell them to fix it, and while you're waiting for them to fix it, do something about what you can do about it right now, which is those alternative choices. Is all I'm trying to say.
I just sincerely think that if you try to wait and you find alternatives to it, the devs are just going to let you live on that copium forever. And the problem is, if you do this enough times where you're just like, oh yeah, we're just like waiting for them to fix it, you end up with a bad game. If you don't complain loud enough times, and they just keep making changes and they just keep going, and you just allow bad things to happen in your game without complaining about it, you end up with a bad game eventually.
I mean, Blue's not lying.
I think that it's important for players to constantly voice opinions
He's not
like
lying.
this in this forum post. Like ultimately kind of trying to bring this full circle. Like, I think it's important for players to voice opinions like this, and like it had a lot of strong upvotes. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't heard a single person that's bought the crystal coupon thing.
Yeah.
So
If
like,
you know anybody that bought that stupid shiz, you better name and shame.
nope,
We need
nope,
to get a
nope,
list.
nope, nope,
Name
nope,
shape.
nope, nope.
I want,
Maybe in
I need to
Blonde
get a
Bear's
list.
Twitch stream you can go witch hunting, but not in blue underscore squadrons. You understand?
Frick
You
those
don't
guys.
know. Okay, we don't witch hunt here. We just make report lists with everyone's family names.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. Yeah, you better send me the names.
Yeah.
Just frick that, bro.
Choice bought it. Did Choice actually buy it?
No fudging way.
There's no way Choice bought it.
No, he probably did.
I don't believe that.
He probably
I
did.
have to see it. I need receipts on it.
Yep.
Either way, we talked enough on this. There's
Receipts.
actually one more forum post that I kind of want to talk about here. And this guy said, I used AI to generate 500 plus, mostly non-slutty out costumes. And I wanted people's opinions on what they thought of these outfits. We love BDO fashion. I'll be honest with you, some of the outfits in the game are kind of basic. They made like the academia outfit, and then they made the academia outfit again, for example. Like, it's just kind of annoying. like bro, we liked the academia outfit, and they were like, but what if you got it again? We're like, bro, what are we talking about? We need to move away from this idea, right? So like, let's take a look at some of these. Look at this first one here. This is
That's
a
pretty
good
cool.
outfit for, like, honestly, this kind of strikes me as like a tamer outfit. Now, I don't know if the horns remind me of Healing or what it is, but like, that's a pretty cool outfit.
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool outfit.
I like the plate, man. I'm a big plate wearer. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, here's another like Oriental outfit. Like, these are all like kind of Eastern outfits that you're gonna see in the dragons. Honestly, I could see Draconia wearing an outfit like this. And honestly, we don't really see too many Chinese themed outfits.
No.
Like, and the game is releasing in China, so maybe we'll see more of it. Oh my goodness, this one screams Nova. This is absolutely Nova. You know what I mean? Honestly, I feel like Nova already basically has this. This outfit. I forget what it's called though. I mean, some of these are really good. Honestly, the headpieces, some of our headpieces in BDO are pretty garbage because they just change your hairstyle and like that's it. That's all it does, right?
Boring.
Like, look how, like, this is crazy intricate. You know what I mean? This is pretty cool. Yeah, like the ornate headdress. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. And again, you can always hide it if you want to as well. Oh, this one just says my queen, bro. This is crazy.
The plate style look.
Yeah, these are all like,
they all seem to be just full plate.
yeah, it's funny how
okay
that
with
works.
that.
It's almost like that you should, like, yeah, maybe they should make more female outfits that aren't just showing literally all skin.
True. Very true.
That's crazy. Like, bro, we just got the Celestia outfit. The Celestia, I'm not joking. They had a zoomed in photo of the character's ass on the Celestia like outfit. It's literally just an open back with just her butt sticking out. And like, they just zoomed in on it and they were like, check this out. Yeah, and I'm sure that they sold thousands of copies of that skin. Literally obnoxious. I will say that I think that the A-Tour shoes should have been designed more like this. I would love to have seen more of like a let's see. So the Dawn's gloves, I think, had a really cool look to them, and I think that they could have done the same thing with the shoes. Like, I think they could have done like some dragon stuff with the shoes. Also, can we get an outfit with wings like this? If we could get an outfit with wings like this that wasn't terrible. Currently, we have the Kibelius Divinius outfit, and you look like
you're naked.
Like a Broadway musical. With like how the wings look. They look so staged and fake. It's supposed to be a fantasy game, and you're walking around. You can literally see like the things that are supposed to be holding up your wings. They're stale. They don't move. They're garbage. Like I personally wanted the Divinius outfit until I realized the wings just don't move. They're just constantly stationary.
Yeah, it's just super stationary and kind of ugly looking.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if, so you mentioned the Dawn's gloves having a really cool design. I was thinking it'd be cool if they had a unique design for the helmet and the chest because they're just Black Star design right now.
That's boring.
And also, if they could have like a complete sort of, I guess, like transmog version of each of the unique designs. So instead of just having the Artor shoes being look like Artor, it would have we could have Ator's gloves, Ator's chest, Ator's helmet, or Don's chest, Don's boots, Don's
That'd be
helmet,
sick.
and stuff like that. And then it could just be some sort of like extra thing you pay, like silver wise in game, like it's like another
Or
silver
you,
thing to just
or you
like
do some
change
cool
the.
quest or some challenge where you like,
Yeah,
oh, you got to be some hard boss or something. Like
it'd be like
this
that too.
game does have an untapped well of like challenge mode s content like they do in World of Warcraft, where like you have this like hard dungeon, and once you achieve it, you can show it off to everyone. I mean, that's essentially what the Mysteries of Summer kind of is. Like those are not easy to do, and they're very frustrating and hard sometimes on some of the challenges. And it's like a test of your will, basically. But if we had more of that kind of stuff, I think that'd be really cool for all the just different potential stuff you could, add, stuff that would show your achievements when people see you walking around. I mean, like we've had in previous conversations, like when people see you walking around in New Verkant or Zeka when it first came out, people are like, whoa, where's that outfit from? People would literally DM you about it, and it would be cool if we had more of that. Like when people see the Arsh's weapons, like stuff's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, no, people would love that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and honestly, again, they could, that's stuff that they absolutely can monetize. We're not going to get upset about, and we'll throw our
Yep.
money at the game.
Exactly.
Like if they
Cosmetics.
wanted to
Easy.
release like a transmog set for your
Easy.
armor, like, hey, this turns all of your stuff into like the Dawn's version, right? Or into like like this Oriental version. Like, oh great, or this one's just all Black Star armor. Okay, well there you go, right? Like people would pay for that. It wouldn't be the end of the world. And people might get upset about it, but it's all cosmetic, so it's not the end of the world. And again, we would spend. I don't understand why they would go down a route where like they would monetize crystal like slots when there's so much untapped potential in their outfit category. Like, let's be honest, if they
That's
just
because
had
it was easy and lazy. That's
hey,
why.
we're releasing these new outfits. It's not even a whole skin. It's just a new weapon skin that changes your effects to green.
That's what they did for the Shy, and it's like one of the most worn outfits.
Yeah, like literally just $70. People would just drop it. People wouldn't even consider it.
Yeah, probably.
Like it
I
would
probably
be crazy.
well.
And again, you could also
just a color
add this
change.
in
I don't
a
know.
non-monetized way for hitting like level 67 on a class. You know what I mean, or something, or 66 on a class. You could give them like a yellow effect on one of their skills. You know what I mean? Like boom, there you go. But like if they want all their effects to be green, they can just put on the weapon, or whatever it is. Like there's a lot of different ways that they can monetize the game without necessarily compromising more pay to win or compromising their crystal system, which let's be honest, people were already upset about. You took a system that everyone was already controversial and people were already upset about, and then you monetize the solution. Yeah, you deserve blowback on that. You deserve to get put on blast repeatedly and often for that, because that's stupid. Because when you do stuff like that, you should not be rewarded for it, right? Now they increased Pearl Shop like outfits, like how much you could sell them on the marketplace. By the way, these are some amazing Awakening Witch outfits. I would love.
Those are sick.
I would absolutely love a robe that went down below your footsies.
Footsies.
The one that dragged.
Yeah, and also like I think that there's a lot of people on the internet that have like the disability of liking feet. But I'm just gonna say right now that like if you added shoes to the game that look like that, like with like the open toes, but like they're like looped over and they're not necessarily heels, people would buy that. Like 100%. People would totally buy that. Like and I like that, but I don't know if they would. I guess they could. There's outfits on Wizard where like the robes drape down like below your feet, and those outfits work too. But like I don't know, like Witch doesn't really have too much of this like really like droopy stuff. Is there anything in here you'd like to see for your Wusa, Jay? Like this one. Would you like some roots coming out of your head?
Roots coming out of my head. Maybe some very like druidic kind of designs.
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
That's a class we don't have yet, a druid.
Bro, I would, dude.
Guess what? It'd
I
be a female
always play
class.
druid in D&D. I always play druid because it's an extremely versatile class and it can do a lot of things. I
Probably
really
another
do like
class I
playing
wouldn't
druid.
be able to play.
I would totally play druid in BDO, except that Jay doesn't like the idea of a tiger running around Velia because it would break immersion with the airship flying overhead. And the hentai girl on all the flags. Like it's obnoxious to me that they won't introduce classes like druid to the game because they feel like it would break immersion.
Yeah, it is
What are
kind
you
of
even
weird.
talking about? We have like academia outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah, now with the llama lore, I feel like it kind of would tie in, right? Llama
What llama
2
lore?
would be really cool
Well,
if they
didn't
did
Jay
like
say that he was gonna change? You know, remember
Yeah.
that?
I don't know, if you look at the llama lore, like all of them turn into freaking creatures, right? They're all people that get corrupted and turn into creatures. So like, you know, maybe
What is
we
llama
get this
lore?
new llama, land of the morning light.
Lommel. He says
Oh,
Lommel. Lommel.
yeah.
Oh,
So for
I thought he was
yeah, I
saying
knew that.
llama.
Yeah, I was just helping our listeners.
Yeah,
For
for the people
those
that
of us,
didn't know. For the people that
yeah,
didn't know.
for
Yeah.
those of us
It'd be
that
good.
for
Everybody
those of
turns
us
into
that don't
creatures,
know,
there's tigers.
yeah, which people turned into creatures?
Yeah, like half of them, bro. Half of the bad. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. If you watch the cutscenes, if you paid attention to the quest lines, you'd have saw half of them turning into fudging creatures.
That'd be cool in terms of it's like a boss splits class. Like you evoke the boss's abilities. Like you
Wouldn't
can
it be sick?
use
Pull out.
All right. Well, it's the most trash I've gotten since I've been here. And yeah, hope y'all have a good weekend, a good day tomorrow, and I will catch you next time.